Hello there. Welcome to this mini session that is around the theme of being the author of your story. And in this session, we'll be working on some blocks that may be preventing you from stepping into that role in your own life as much as you can. And we will be working with some stones today. And the first one is golden selenite. This stone is cleansing, as is all selenite. It has the addition of some iron inclusions, which makes it a solar stone, one that has energy of the sun. It's very happy, uplifting, and it also supports our solar plexus. And I believe that it will be supporting that center of self-will for us today as we work in this little mini session. And this stone will be right next to us as we work. Okay, one other stone I have with me is a strombolite orb. And strombolite is also a very happy stone. And I believe that it will be supporting us today in helping us to have bigger picture thinking. Okay, having that type of perspective. That's such awesome texture, doesn't it? I love it. Okay, so that will be next to us as well as we go through this session. So let's go ahead and get into it. Take a centering breath. Try to release some tension you may be holding in your body right now. Bring up my script here. We have 3 images to work through in this mini session. The first image is the garden. Imagine yourself entering a beautiful garden. It is like nothing you have ever experienced. Its beauty is so unparalleled. Imagine the colors, the scents. Imagine walking closer and closer to the middle of the garden and wondering what masterpiece of gardening arts is in the middle of this garden. There is a hedge around the middle. Walking around the hedge, you get to the middle of this garden to find nothing. There's a large patch of dirt within the hedge in the middle of this beautiful garden. Imagine a gardener there, and he's the one in charge of this patch of dirt in the middle of the garden. And he sits there in a dejected kind of way, and he says, I just don't know what to put here, and I don't know what goes here, and I'm not going to try. And I'm so ashamed of this patch of dirt. So much shame, shame is coming up here. And it says, I'm so ashamed because I don't know what to do, so I don't do anything. So let's, excuse me, let's tap and breathe that out. You can tap on your collarbone area, your shoulders, and maybe imagine a black cloud coming out of your mouth as you breathe out. Maybe imagine the word shame coming out of your mouth. Okay? Breathe out that shame like you mean it. One more time. Excellent. Now imagine a tube of light going to this gardener's head, and this light shows him the divine's perspective on what the possibilities are for the middle of this beautiful garden. This light instructs the gardener on what his divinely given gifts are and how he can use them to beautify the middle of this garden. Imagine a light bulb appearing over the top of this gardener's head, and his face is full of purpose. He picks up a shovel and goes to work. Imagine what the middle of this beautiful garden looks like when he is done. There's a fountain. There are impeccably designed flower beds and shrubs. It is the most beautiful part of this magnificent garden. Go ahead and tap and breathe that in. Breathe in this purpose, this understanding, and this excellent execution. Doesn't that feel wonderful? Breathe it in one more time. Big breath. Oh, nice. Okay, image number 2, the snowman. Imagine a couple of boys in a yard, and they have just finished building the base of a snowman. They have just stacked those 3 balls of snow up on each other, and that is what they've completed. The younger of the boys is super excited. out their accomplishment. Did it, we did it, we did it, chants the younger boy. The older brother of this boy says, it's not done. It needs more things. No, 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 yells the younger brother, who honestly probably just needs a nap and is feeling so much overwhelmed to discover that after all the work they did, the snowman is still not done. Let's tap and breathe out this overwhelmed. There's just so much it says. I don't know how to keep going on this. Breathe it out again. Breathe it out like you mean it. The intention here of getting this overwhelmed outside of our bodies. So let it come up, feel it for a minute, get it out. It's my spot for a moment, so I guess you have another second to breathe. Okay, imagine that the older brother knows that the last part of building a snowman is the easiest, and the brother finds a place for his younger brother to sit and rest. Imagine the older brother gathering things that can be used to finish their snowman. There are sticks for arms, there are pine cones for eyes, etc., etc. Imagine the older brother inviting his younger brother to come and help place these gathered things on the snowman. The younger brother lights up again and follows his older brother's example in placing the things on the snowman. Because the things are all laid out for him, it is no longer overwhelming at all. This accomplishment and this assistance and this feeling of things being laid out and ready for you to accomplish some great things with them. It's not difficult. Let's breathe it in. Feeling like we can breathe in confidence as well. This younger brother is feeling confidence now. Excellent. Okay, we have one more image we get to work on, and it's called the important man. Imagine an important man. He is walking the halls of a castle where he works as an advisor to the rulers. He wears a fancy robe and is long and trails behind him a bit when he walks. Imagine this man going to his private room, closing the door and taking off the robe. Imagine him in front of the mirror with nothing on but his long nose. Peter Bear. There's nothing important looking about this man once his robe is off. I'm an imposter, he says. All the people rely on me, even the king, but here I am, just a man in a fancy robe with almost nothing underneath. He is just drowning in his disbelief in his own self. There's so much heartache and insecurity coming up now. So let's go ahead and tap and breathe it out. Let's tap and breathe out this imposter syndrome as much as it's possible and this disbelief of self. So imagine the heartache and insecurity leaving your body as you breathe. It out like you mean it. Breathe out this disbelief of self. Imagine it as a dark cloud leaving your body. Pause and keep going with that if you feel like you need to, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Imagine this important man receiving a summons from the king. The king needs advice on a subject that is so important to his kingdom. Imagine this important man putting his robe back on, advising the king and showing him possibilities and providing perspective. This important man reminds the king of the kingdom's history in regards to the matter at hand. He reminds him of the rules of those that are involved. Imagine the epiphany the king experiences from this conference with the important man, and it changes the kingdom for the better. Imagine the king throwing an honorary luncheon for this important man, where many of his important deeds are talked about. Imagine this important man in front of his mirror. With his robe off, it is easy to see that he is wearing highly polished shoes. The outfit is made of excellent fabrics, and it is fitting for his important position as a king's advisor. He is important in the kingdom, and his clothing now shows it. Breathe it in, the comfort and confidence that this man's now feeling in his own story. It in. That a couple more times. Breathe in this comfort and confidence of knowing that you are important in your own story. Breathe that in now. You are so important in your own story. Have the confidence and everything that you need to step forward in your own story. Thank you so much for joining me for this session. You can see my links and my offerings down below. And I hope you just have a most wonderful day and that this helps you have perspective in your own story that you are writing. Thank you so much.